Hello, this is your captain speaking, and we're back with more Kerbal Space Program .24. Now, as you see here, we have this Jendo Kerman in orbit around Kerbal. Now, don't know how this little scamp managed to get up there in orbit around the planet without a spacesuit, but hey, it's a video game. I'll suspend my disbelief. He's in a tiny little orbit of about 100,000 meters to 90,000 meters. I'm rounding by like 100 on each side. Whatever. Anyway, it's our responsibility as Kerbmanitarians to rescue this poor Kerman before he dies of, well, Kerbans can't really die of, like, food or oxygen deprivation. They're very resilient little creatures. Unless I have mods installed that involve them dying. I don't want to deal with that shit. Anyway, I'm going to send up a rescue mission to save his life. Okay, and here we have the heroic act. A craft which I have specifically designed to go up and rescue Jendo Kerman from the grips of Orbit. Now I'm going to move him, I'm just going to time accelerate to the map here to move him towards the horizon, just so by the time I get up here, up there, I'll be just on the right time to intercept him. That should be good. And now I'm going to launch. I picked up a couple new contracts, like eject these radial decouplers right here so I can unlock these parts earlier, so I've used them as little fuel pods, and then I'll eject them once I'm in between 23,000 and 31,000 meters. This should be sufficient enough to get me in orbit. But if not, I packed plenty of extra fuel, and hey, I can do some science on the way regardless. Oh dang it, I forgot to switch out for Edmore Kerman, our heroic hero, but Jebediah is famous, and he knows what he's doing, so I'm going to send him up for this mission regardless. Hi, Future Damien here, and let this be a warning to you about the mistakes that can be made when you have unbalanced amount of fuels in your auxiliary tanks. This almost killed the whole mission. Oh shit. I unbalanced myself with fuel here. Hold on. Okay, that should be fine. Fuel is now draining out of this tank. Oh no! I don't want to. Oh fuck, I'm losing velocity because of this. Oh no. Come on. Gotta let my reaction wheels pick it up a little bit. Okay, both fuel tanks are empty and I'm ejecting the fuel pods now. I just completed that contract right there. That might have screwed me out of some, a lot of Delta V there, actually, but that's fine, because I can recover it. I can probably get this thing into orbit, even though my, my prograde vector is now so low. But, hopefully it'll still work out. Hopefully. That mistake cost me a lot of fuel, but however, Jebediah's masterful piloting will save the rest of the mission, I'm sure. Okay, now I've got it just about up to just about up to the altitude I actually need to get to be on the same orbit path as him. I just need to set a little maneuver node over here and tweak some stuff to try and get just a close enough encounter to him. Because if you get within, I think it's 2 kilometers, you can actually control the person you are rescuing as well, which makes this a damn sight easier. I'm going to set him as a target so I can just, yeah. Okay, see over there we have a nice little intersect of 30 kilometers. It's only a 34-second burn, which is probably going to be a little bit more considering I'm low fuel on this stage. But I should have enough fuel to be able to get to that orbit that I want exactly. I'm going to time accelerate until I get to the point that I need to. I'm going to burn at about 20 seconds here. Alright, I'm going to make my burn, and I'm going to try and get this perfect little orbit here, with a separation of 30 kilometers between me and the target at the end of it. Alright, my main stage ran out of fuel, but that's not a big deal. It'd be great if I could have kept that fuel from when I fucked up during takeoff, but that's okay. I should still have plenty to take me back. As you can see here, I have plenty of fuel to get me into the orbit I need. But returning might be the tricky part. And here we go. Gonna delete this maneuver node so I know how far away I am from him, and try and just do little micro burns to try and get myself closer. I want to see that, but the freaking apoapse marker is getting in the way. 44 kilometers, 40 kilometers, 33, 30, 20, 25. Perfect. It's getting better. I like this. Okay, 25 kilometers seems to be as close as I can get it right now, and that is perfectly acceptable. I'm going to go with that. Just going to burn back to that because I did burn away from it for a second. 25 kilometers separation. Alright, I'm going to time accelerate until I get to that point, or close to that point. Alright, now I'm pretty close to that. I'm going to switch to the target relative to velocity and burn to my target's prograde vector and be moving at the same speed as it. Or very roughly. It's usually within like 0.1 or 0.2 unless you want to get really stingy with it. And it helps if you have RCS for that kind of stuff because the marker just moves around like crazy in the nav ball. I don't want to deal with that because I don't want to waste too much fuel doing this. Alright. Little more burn. There we go. So I'm moving... Okay, I'm picking up relative to the target pretty fast here. Now I'm going to make a burn towards my target. It's 26 kilometers away at the moment. And I'm just going to burn towards it. Try and pick up a bit of speed here so I can kind of get this done a little bit quickly, but not too quickly. Uh-oh. I just set myself on a little path heading towards Kerbal here. I hope I can recover from this. Should be fine. I'm gonna set myself to retrograde relative to target again, because I have an intercept coming up of 7.4 kilometers, which I can easily fix. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, slow myself down relative to my target. Now I'm back in an orbital trajectory on Kerbal, and I don't have to worry about plummeting into the planet without rescuing this poor, sad little Kerbal. Alright, there's my target, only 7 kilometers away. I'm moving about on the exact same plane as it. I'm just lagging behind a bit. So I'm going to move myself closer again here. Do a little burn. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Doodle-doodle-doo. And I'm slowly burning towards it until it's 0.3 kilometers away. Holy crap, that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to time accelerate to that point. Cautiously, I don't want to zoom straight past him, which I've done before many times. And I might end up actually doing that here. Let's watch and find out. Alright, now I'm in within 1,000 meters of this poor sucker. I shouldn't call him names, that's mean. And I'm going to slow my velocity down relative to him to about there should cut it, because I want to have enough fuel to return to the surface. I wonder if I can control him now. Jendo Kerman. I can't control him now? Okay, let me figure this out real quick. I guess I have to be closer to him. Okay, well, I'm gonna burn a little bit closer to him. You have to be crazy close, I guess. I can get this. Easy peasy. I turned off my SAS for some reason. Luke, you've turned off your target computer. Is something wrong? Yeah, I can't fucking control this curve. What the hell? Nobody told me about this at the academy, which I didn't go to because Uncle Owen wouldn't send me. Stop making Star Wars references, nerd. Alright. Now I'm moving about the same speed relative to him, and I'm only 62 meters away from him. So if I can't control him now, then I don't know what I'm going to do. There I am. I'm blind. Okay, okay, I'm gonna get out and do some EVA here. See if I can get real close to him and then switch to him. turn your EVA packs on, and let's go. Hey, little buddy. You doing good there? I'm gonna do it. Oh, I just shot past him. God, it feels so floaty and awkward, but it is space, so that makes perfect sense as to why it would. Hey there, buddy. You doing good there? Just floating around in space? Oh, don't overshoot. What you doing? You have a little bit too much to drink? Why can't I control you? Hey. What's up? Can I move you? I can in fact move you. Which was probably not the smartest idea on my behalf. Because now I'm moving different relative to you. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try and control him at this point. Jendo! Quit being difficult, dang it. Ah, fantastic! I figured it out. I just had to switch to him using one of the bracket keys. Okay, now I'm going to get him safely back to the heroic act. Set as target. It's only 81 meters away. Not a long trip at all. I'm a dumbass. I just had to press one button and I was freaking out, like looking around. What do I do? I don't know what I'm doing. So, just get him to this little auxiliary pod I've built down here. Easily said than done. And he is on board. I have rescued him. Jendo Kerman has been added to the crew. He is now part of my space program. I got 6,000 Kerbal credits. What are they called exactly? I should probably look that up. And I also tested that decoupler, which gave me another 11,000 Kerbal credits and 20 science points. You actually get science points for testing stuff? That's fucking awesome. Okay, I'm going to return Jendo Kerman back to the ship and then return us safely to the planet Kerbal. I want to try and burn us on land because, like them crazy Russians, I'm going to do a smackdown. Well, it's not a smackdown landing. Smackdown landing. Oh, pro wrestling term. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know anything about wrestling, but as Americans usually land, we splash down. We land in the ocean. Russians, for some reason, like to land on land, and that's scary. Like, that's horrifying to me. I don't... Okay, I'm going to try and do my Deorbit burn to where I'm landing over land, so I'm going to time accelerate here and try and get myself back on the day side so I don't land on the night side of the planet. There should be some science I can try and collect, because I did pack this little commutatron here, and I can communicate a little bit of science back to the planet. There's the beautiful deserts over Kerbal. Fantastic. Okay. Alright, and right about here I'm going to perform my Deorbit burn and return myself to the surface of the planet. I put these little landing legs here too so I can do a ground landing. Although I don't think they're going to reach long enough to extend past that engine. Oops! I made a design oversight. That engine's probably going to go kaput. But I should be able to save this whole top assembly of the craft. So I'm going to do my my burn right here and try and get myself to land in this desert area on Kerbal. That should be good. I'm going to time accelerate and bring us in for a landing. See if there's any more science I can do on my way down. Fantastic! Kerbal's upper atmosphere. I could probably do an EVA report here, too. I'm going to send out Jebediah in this precarious situation. Ah, dang. You're starting to feel you should really get back in the ship. Plummeting through the atmosphere of a planet, I think that would be a better time than ever to get back into your ship. Probably a responsible call there, Jebediah Kerman. But we don't like responsible calls, and I just went flipping around. See, that's exactly my point. We don't like responsible calls in my space program. We like hard, reckless decision-making. We're Kirks, damn it, not Picards. Oh, a Star Trek reference. What's wrong with me? Everything. Haha. That voice hurts my throat more than you would believe. God, past Damien is a nerd. Anyway, our Kerbals get strapped into their seats and prepare for a little bit of a bumpy landing in the desert. Alright, so I think maybe I can get us a nice little landing in this desert here, but it looks like I'm heading towards a hillside, so it could get a bit messy. Luckily, I saved some fuel while I was up there, so I could try and burn to slow myself down before I hit the ground, on top of these parachutes, too. Oh yes, I just remembered I turned on ground scatter, so I have like this sparkly ground when I'm far away from it. When I get up close to it, it should be rocks. But it might be trees. Ah! I'm not really sure. I've never landed in the desert with ground scatter on before, so this should be interesting looking. I'm going to open my chutes right about here. Chutes are deployed and they're open. I should probably open them sooner. But, you know, I don't like to wait to slow down. I like to hit the ground hard and fast. Oh, yeah! Oh, they're cacti. That's interesting that they do the ground scatter different based on the biome, but I guess that wouldn't take too long. I want to go investigate one of those cacti. I'm going to do a crew report right before I land. And about to hit the ground here. I can see my shadow in the right there. And boom! Touchdown! Didn't break the engine. Almost broke the whole ship. But you can see we've landed perfectly safely here. I'm going to do a crew report from the ground and then report it. And I'm going to EVA Jendo Kerman, who's been trapped out in space for who knows how long. Gonna send him out here, take a surface sample of the desert. 9 science. And I'm also going to do an EVA report, give myself another 2.4 science, and I'm going to try and get back in the ship. But Kerbals have a hard time jumping on Kerbin because the gravity is pretty dang high here. Oh, I just realized the mission flag is on my jump pack too. It's a nice little detail they've added there. Because I really like the C7 logo for some reason, but I would be delighted if I were to have my own logo. Mission summary for the Heroic Act Mark 1. I gained a bunch of science from this mission. I saved most parts of my landing module. I managed to keep the engine alive too, so I recovered 62% of the funds of this mission. So now we have enough science to buy one more scientific upgrade, and I am going to get General Construction because it gives me the tri-stack coupler, and I am also going to go to the contract building and pick up some more contract. And I have this one right here from Carlington Model Rockets and Paper Products Incorporated, telling me to explore the moon, and that is something that we'll do in the next episode. Thank you for watching. This is your captain signing off.